Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we're going to be taking a look at Lost Ruins of Arnak. This game has gained a lot of attention in all facets of the board game hobby, but specifically in the solo community. It has a solo automa from the very beginning. A lot of people really enjoyed how it's kind of this hybrid deck building game. And the solo AI was very easy to manage. Some people just said it was a little too easy. So Czech Games Edition actually came out with some modified solo rules and a few cards that you can print and play on your own. And from what I hear, they are releasing kind of a campaign that you can play through. I believe that's probably also going to be print and play as well. So it seems like they're actually really focused on improving the solo experience for this game. So it's gotten such rave reviews, I wanted to check it out. So let's see what all the fuss is about. So as we take a look at the back here, you can see that it's kind of like a hybrid worker placement / deck building game, which is very intriguing to me because I really enjoy deck builders in general historically, and I'm really starting to be taken on worker placement games. So essentially you're trying to work your way up this kind of expedition here as you make your way further and further, taking on harder and harder expeditions. And this is kind of like your prestige track as you gain notoriety and things like that, or knowledge. And here's your typical slate of cards that you can purchase, and the types of cards that you can purchase change. They go from being standard cards to artifacts by the end of the game. Also, this game has been highly touted for the kind of combos that you can create by the actions you can take by your worker placement and the cards you're playing. So it's really fun to just play through your turns. So let's take a look at what's inside here. This is standard, what I would consider an old school size box. This is like the size of Monopoly used, or Monopoly's probably shorter and wider, but most games used to always be this shape, this rectangular shape, and now they're all the cube shaped. So it's interesting to see them harken back to the old days with their box size here. All right. So what do we got here? We got the Czech Games Edition catalog. Always fun to look through this. Falling Skies is another game that I've heard a lot of great things about, and it's a solo only game. So that's probably one that I will probably be checking out here in the future. Czech Games Edition also does Sanctum, which has been given a solo mode. It's a cooperative game, so you can play just double-handed. Czech Games Edition also has Codenames. There's Codenames, which some people don't realize because they also do Mage Knight. Is in here somewhere, I'm sure. Through the Ages is another big, heavy game. Galaxy Trucker. Well, maybe they don't have Mage Knight in here. Mage Knight is one of my all-time favorite games, period, and it's another one of those hybrid style. Actually don't have Mage Knight in here. That's interesting. Or is Mage Knight even Czech Games Edition? No, actually, I don't think it is. It's WizKids. That's why. It's just Vladi Chotville that's also Mage Knight. My apologies. Okay, so let's see what we got here. We got a single piece of paper. It's kind of bent up. I believe this is a scoring sheet because here's the rest of them. So a pad of scoring sheets, and I always found it funny that people are always asking, like, oh, can I get more of these? Am I going to be able to print more off? I have never gone through an entire pad of sheets. Even like in playing large group games of cartographers, I still haven't gone through the 100 pad sheet that cartographers gave me. I've always just wondered, and these are even double-sided, like, who are these people that play a single game that much that they're going to go through all these sheets and need more? anyways, that's just some random thoughts of mine. Here's a whole big deck of cards here. We'll take a look at those here in a second. Here are your workers, and you can see that you're really only going to get 2 workers per person. And then these other tokens, the kind of oval shape and the square shape, are what you move up your XP track. A whole bunch of baggies. So we'll see about that. These look like the old 10 Commandments testaments. Some hieroglyphs. These are like plasticky pieces. Not really sure what they're going to be used for. More baggies. Alright, these appear to be, some just reference cards for the players. Pretty standard. Okay, here is, let's look at these first. And these appear to be some gems and some arrowheads, which I believe are just kind of resources that you can gain and then spend in the game. These are also kind of plasticky in nature. Alright, so we've got a very large rule book, actually. Oh, here's some stickers. I was wondering about that because everything I'd seen had these icons on the things that move up this XP track. And so there they are. I guess you got to apply your own stickers. This is a very large rule book. It's almost the size of this box, which is really kind of weird that it's so large. But let's just see what it has to offer here. Maybe everything's just blown up in size. Tutorial video, nice. One of the things that I have heard about this game that I kind of have mixed feelings about, especially after playing Etherfields and Direwild earlier this year, is this whole vertical board thing. Why people continue to just stick with these vertical board setups, I don't know. This one makes a little bit more sense than Etherfields because you're, working your way up from the bottom here, and every step up gets a little bit more challenging, and you're working your way up this prestige track. But they could have just as easily, made your way from east to west, traveling east to west, and had this stuff travel east to west. So, anyways, this looks to be a whole 2 big pages of setup. This rulebook is massive. Individual player setup, gameplay overview. So we're talking really page 7 for learning how to play the game. This is a pretty good mix of words and pictures, I would say. This doesn't seem too overwhelming. It's really just the size, the physical size of the rulebook that is a little overwhelming. But there's a decent amount here. We started at 7 and now we're up to 17, so 10 solid pages plus final scoring, so 11. The Snake Temple side. Our ship was nothing but tired. So I wonder if this is the solo AI or is this something completely different? Oh no, the board is double-sided. The Snake Temple side has sites with different travel costs and different research track. Now that's cool. I really like when they throw in a double-sided board like that. Okay. So this, just right off the bat, is super impressive. We already know that they have a solo mode, but the fact that they threw in a whole separate side of the board that's going to change things up is just very impressive for me. And here's the solo variant, how to run the solo AI. And an appendix, not bad, frequently asked questions. So that wasn't too bad. 10 pages, and it's not like these, the text is large, there's large pictures, so I would say they're pretty 10 standard pages. I really just don't know why they made this so big. They easily could have made it half this size. But anyways, there's the rule book. And the back, did I show the back? This appears to be exactly what's pretty much on these cards, so don't know why you need that. All right, so here is the board. I'm gonna set this off to the side for now until we can get a better shot of it, and so we can see both sides, because that's gonna be exciting. All right, we got a lot of cardboard here that's already starting to come out. That's okay. So this appears to be a fold-out player board. This is not, actually it is kind of double-sided. Look at that. Something going on down here. Oh no, I think this actually sits, this is supposed to sit at the bottom of the actual board. And I think this is where you put your various resources out and gather them from, you know, your piles and things like that. And this is what everybody has said. Don't bother putting this at the bottom, put this somewhere else, even though the graphics are going to match up a little bit. And so this must be maybe that Snake Mountain side you can play with here, or if you just wanted more freedom, you could play on this side. So that's that. These are the solo AI. I do know that, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, which are nice. They're not even cards. They're these really nice, thick cardboard tiles here. But these essentially are just, I don't know which way it goes, but giving you very basic directions. It's very quick. You know, where are they going to go? Where are they scoring? Are they blocking you? So on and so forth. Are they taking cards? And that's really how solo AI runs. In both deck builders and worker placements. The best ones really just kind of very quickly block your spot and or pick up a card so you can't take it. So here's some of the monsters that you might encounter, what it takes to defeat them, so on and so forth. They all look like the snake on the back. Alright, a whole bunch of more monsters and some idle tokens. Here you can see what the monsters look like, just a variety of them. These aren't supposed to be like battles, there's no dice rolling or anything. It's essentially like you go to a spot, a monster is revealed, and can you take care of it before your turn ends? If not, and you're stuck there, then you might, some effects might happen to you, but it's not like they're going to kill you or anything like that. And then you simply just come back when you have, say, 4 coins to spend, or you have a plane and a spearhead. So, whole bunch more tokens, some more AI tokens. This is all pretty standard stuff. Whoops. Alright, this is a player board. Stuff's just popping out all over the place. Although generally I do like it when stuff pops out that easily. So here's your probably draw deck. These are allies, which I believe give you your second worker. Has a nice little framing for you to know, okay, they're active or they have been exhausted. Double-sided for whatever reason. Yeah, just various stuff on your player board here. These do appear to be double-sided, but I believe this side is simply for the solo. One of these is for the solo and one of them's for regular people. I believe this is for the solo. So there's some of that stuff. ×3 markers. If you ever start running out of, man, everything's just popping out everywhere. These are like some of the locations that you can go. So again, can you get past these locations? You have to spend that kind of stuff. Here's just some more of the locations. The artwork on here is nice. It's not like blowing me out of the water, but it's colorful, which is cool, and it's got this kind of Indiana Jones feel to it, which I really don't have anything in my collection that I would say has that archaeologist style adventure theme to it. And then just more tiles, more allies. And so as you can see, it's just a big box. They gave us a bunch of baggies, but there's a lot of cardboard there. And then one big rule book and one big board and a deck of cards. So this is definitely screaming for a storage solution. So keep your eye out for that, because that one's definitely going to be coming. Let's back up a sec and take a look at the board. Alright, so here is the bottom half of the board. Like I said, this board is very vertical. It's really hard to get it all in the shot, so we're just going to kind of scroll down it here so you guys can get a better view of things. Here's basically your starting locations, pretty standard basic stuff, and these are always here. And then from there, everything else that you put out is all random. So you saw all those different locations, and then certain locations also, are going to throw out monsters as well. And then over here is your like experience track. So this is basically like a big empty board right now, but it's meant to be filled up as the game goes along. So this one in particular, and there's the top half of the board, has this like eagle looking symbol at the top, which the other one has a big snake or serpent. You can see that to travel to these higher places, it gets much harder. This is where your available cards, your market deck is going to be, and then various other cards to draw from and discard piles. So that's pretty much it. The board is really beautiful, in my opinion. Just especially this area in general, just is really nice to just kind of gaze upon. But again, it's pretty much just a big open board to utilize putting down those somewhat large tokens. I don't know if they need to be that large, but they do display some nice artwork. So let's take a look and see what's on the other side. Okay, so here is the other side of the board, and astute people who are paying attention to the video might now will realize that I'm shooting this shot vertically. With this board being vertical, if I simply just rotate the camera, but I do realize that when this is actually edited and placed on your computer or TV screen or wherever you are on your phone, wherever you might be watching it, it's going to be sitting there with all these black bars. If you happen to have it on a phone or an iPad or something like that and you can rotate it, I believe it'll all fill in. So a little social experiment for everyone who has been paying attention. I would love to hear your comments on how this in general looks right here. If I were to play through a game with the camera set up this way, where it was a very vertical shot, and if you had it in landscape mode, there would be black bars on the left and the right. Does this feel too far away? Is everything too small? Do you prefer the more zoomed in and the camera having to move around look, only being able to see part of the board? Or do you prefer being able to see all of the board like this? And obviously I would only do this in vertical games like this, but I'm just kind of curious. So please leave your comments below and what your take on this kind of shot is. But otherwise, this board looks the same. I know that a lot of these things are different, and this side's different, but this is a big snake instead of an eagle. There is definitely this darkness looming in the background, and you can see this volcano looks like it's actually about to erupt, whereas the other side was much more peaceful looking. But anyways, this is the other side of the board, just as beautiful as the front. Alright, so last but not least, let's take a look at some of the cards. This is a pretty decent stack of cards here included in the game, and it would appear that they are all designed to be part of the deck building process of the game. They all have the exact same back on them. The tail end of these is a decent side of these fear cards, which are essentially like wound cards, there's lots of other words for them depending on what deck builder you play, but a lot of them call them wound cards. They just kind of clog up your deck. And I'm guessing if you have them still in your deck at the end, this is -1 victory points. But other than that, they're just like a worthless card that comes out. But they do give you 1 boot, so they do allow you to go somewhere. But so those are essentially the wound cards, and then it's a whole bunch of cards. See, I'm trying to look in the symbol here. Yeah, so there's like a, here we go. Okay, so there is, let's divide these up here. I'm guessing that these are some of the basic cards that everybody's going to be starting out with. Something like this probably gives you an instant ability to gain a compass, which you then need to spend to explore, instantly gain a gem, things like that. So I believe that these are, especially because they're color coded here, this is probably like if you're the red player, what your part of your starting hand will be. And if you're the green player, starting hand, blue, and yellow. So 2 instant compasses, 2 instant coins. There's kind of your starting part of your starting hand. I'm sure you'll get some fear cards probably. And then these, I believe with the little spade here in the corner, are kind of your basic items that you can gain. And again, all of these appear to just be incredibly unique in nature. You know, I've yet to see one that has been duplicated. Trowel, that's a good word for it. Pickaxe. So hot air balloons, just are really good. Some of these are vehicles, some of them are tools, some of them are companions like a parrot, but they all fit the theme. Nothing's like completely off the wall here, but they all also, everything makes sense. So the artwork's really nice. It's just the colors really pop off of these, which is something I'm noticing. The art is okay, but just the colors in general is just really pleasant on the eyes to look at. Bear trap, grappling hook, lantern, dog, brush, axe, chronometer, theodolite. So there you go. Not a single one of those was duplicated, which is awesome. And then you have a stack of these artifact cards, which as the game progresses, more and more artifact cards have become available, and these are probably more expensive, but probably also offer you better stuff. So Pathfinder sandals, Pathfinder staff, War Mask, and these are all you know, definitely more. The other stuff was very basic, very standard. This is all very fanatical. Serpent's Gold, that's cool. Serpent Idol, Monkey Medallion, Inscribed Blade. You know, it's interesting. I'm not really sure which one I would have appreciated better. This, I really appreciate the Indiana Jones theme just in general, because like I said, I really don't have anything like that in my collection. What I'm unsure of is whether I really like it being kind of its own thing. You know, they're not really copying Indiana Jones. It's just in that same realm. Or if they had been like, you know, like the Clank games all seemed to kind of poke fun at the various tropes that they were doing. So like Clank in Space made fun of Star Wars and Star Trek and things like that with their cards. And regular Clank would make fun of Lord of the Rings and the standard fantasy tropes. I don't know if it would have been better that these would have been like poking fun at Indiana Jones relics, like where's the giant boulder? If the giant rolling boulder had been an enemy, that would have been funny, but I almost really like the fact that these are kind of their own thing. And it's just adventure, archaeologist themed. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is everything we have for the Lost Ruins of Arnak. Be sure to keep an eye out for and I hold up my thumb. 1, a storage solution video, because that big giant box is begging for a good storage solution, and also for a playthrough, because we'll definitely be playing through this soon and checking out this solo, and we'll see how it goes from there. We'll see how it looks when the campaign comes out. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.